Carpenter Ants, also called Camponotus Ants. Many of us ant keepers all over the world like them for their polymorphism, which is the ability of an ant species to create worker ants of various sizes. So, a Camponotus ant colony can end up having lots of small-sized workers who nurture the brood and take care of nest activities, while also having some of those super-sized ants, often in form of majors or even super majors, who match or exceed the size of their respective queen ants. Some of us are also pleased by just looking at them, since they come in many, often vivid colors. Fact is that Camponotus is a hyper-diverse genus with over 1,000 species and over 400 subspecies of ants. No matter where in the world you live, you are bound to have native carpenter ants in your area, even if you haven't discovered them yet. In this video tutorial, I will introduce you to a Camponotus ant species that is native in my country. Welcome to our Ants Vienna ant keeping guide featuring Camponotus Vagus. Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Ants Vienna Ant channel. If you are watching us for the first time, here we talk about everything you need to know if you belong or aspire to be one of the millions of enthusiastic people who keep ants as pets. We will break this ant keeping guide down in two parts. First, I will provide you a brief overview of the Camponotus Vagus ant profile, followed by the second part, where I show you more footage of my colony, show you the wood ant farm I've created for them, and discuss my experience in the first year of keeping them. Are you ready? Take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy the video. Let's dive in! So, what is the general idea about Camponotus vagus? What are they all about? What's their so-called ant profile? Let's get started with the obvious things. Camponotus vagus belong to the biggest ant species Europe has to offer. Queen ants measure 14 to 16 millimeters, while worker ants vary between 6 and 14 millimeters and are strongly polymorphic, which means there can be huge size differences between one worker and another. The queen, workers, and the male ants, also called drones, are fully matte black, but have indistinguishable silver hair on their abdomen, a detail I personally really like. Wild colonies of this species usually house 1 to 4,000 individuals, while colonies living in captivity can reach a number of up to 10,000 worker ants in the care of a good keeper. However, despite their numbers, every colony is reigned by only a single queen ant, making them monogenous. Camponotus vagus can be found from Europe to Central Asia, and based on their natural habitat, they enter hibernation from the end of October to the end of March, with temperatures ranging between 5 and 8 degrees Celsius, or 41 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Ant behavior. Camponotus vagus might be big, but make no mistake, compared to other Camponotus ant species, they are not only faster in terms of colony development and growth, but also in terms of ground movement speed. Camponotus vagus can outrun their bigger counterparts Camponotus ligniperdus and easily secure food sources from smaller ants like Lasius or Myrmica species too. Unlike Camponotus ligniperdus or Herculeanus, Vagus show up very aggressive and have a habit for explosive movements, always ready to spar and fight in order to hold territories and resources. That being said, these Carpenter ants also show similarities to other Camponotus species around the world, like their love for warmer spots and wood. Which brings me to the second part of this video, the wooden ant farm I've created for them and my experience with this species so far. Before I jump into that, let me just take the time and ask you to gently smash that thumbs up button if you find this video helpful and want me to produce more ant keeping guides like this one. By subscribing and hitting that notification bell, you also make sure you won't miss any future Ants Vienna videos. Now, while I am working on a way to easily create a wood ant nest build tutorial for you guys to replicate, I've also wanted to test out what my CNC machine is capable of. So I decided to give it a try by designing this wood formicarium. Camponotus vagus preferably love to nest in wood, and I personally prefer all-in-one setups. Thus, I ended up also cutting a plate to mount the ant nest and the outward on for my pet ant colony to forage. And I know some of you might recognize that shape from somewhere. Yes, it's a Ferrero Rocher box once again, though a slightly bigger one this time around. Commenting on the nest, you may notice that I don't have a dedicated area for watering this nest. That is because I believe that watering a wood nest is not a good idea because of mold buildup, plus most of the species that live in wood have other ways to hydrate themselves. And that holds true for Camponotus vagus as well. These ants take water in and distribute it to fellow colony members in need and also apply it on certain spots they deem appropriate within their nesting area. This can be compared to the process of watering your garden. You provide more water to the plants that need it most and less to those that don't. And since the ants know their nest best, it is ideal if they water the nest the way they think is best. So, in order to keep things short for you, if you decide that you want to keep this ant species as your pets, then make sure to provide them a permanent water source that they can take advantage of in their foraging area. In my time so far with these ants, I can only confirm that this Carpenter ant species does indeed grow much faster than other big Camponotus. Examples gratis, Pennsylvanicus or Ligniperdus. A quick comparison, it starts with the nanitics, the first workers a queen ant produces. While my Ligniperdus queens had a maximum of 7 nanitics, all the Camponotus vagus queens that I've caught last year raised at least 12 and a maximum of 15 nanitics, which is already double of that what my Ligniperdus have produced, and is sure to give them a better start in the early stages of colony foundation. Now, if you haven't seen my queen ant catching video on Camponotus queen ants yet, then you are welcome to watch it here. All that being said, Not all queen ants are born equal. There simply are queens that are better in raising their young than others. So, I might just have been lucky for once. What about you? Do you keep any Camponotus ants? And what do you like about them? Leave me your answer in the comments below. I read and answer them all. My goal with this video is to give you a general idea about the ant species called Camponotus Vagus and help you decide if you want to keep them as your pets. And if you are interested in learning more about other ant species too, feel free to check out my ant guides that appear on the top left of your screen right now.